Got them all that
I think it was 2 years ago because this is before, like, we all knew who Riley Green was. I think these women still did, diehard country fans, but way before he hit big time, like you said, this past year. But he had just joined us and literally got the first question out, and Nick Saban shows up waiting.
Oh. Yep.
And Nick don't like to wait.
Nick Saban does not wait patiently. He's not a patient waiter like you. Sometimes.
So we asked him, 2 questions?
Yeah, poor Riley. Yeah. Sometimes if you read body language.
Good luck at Ocean Fest this weekend, Riley. We'll see you.
Yeah, poor Riley never recovered from that bad interview with us. People like body language tells you everything. Nick Saban's body language when he's waiting. He's not a patient waiter. Like, he was like, who is this guy these idiots are talking to?
What are we waiting?
And why is it not me?
And it's like when he looks at you sometimes, it's like he's stealing your soul.
Yeah. So it's a fun event. It's a fun event. And we got some business. Oh, yeah. One more thing.
Well, I was just going to say, I've got to bring this up. So walk-ons and their setup on 10 where we were, it's the best I've seen it to this point. Just the layout, the way they had everything, it was so efficient.
Food was really, really
good.
good.
Yeah, 3
terrific.
Different bars. But the thing that really jumped out to me...
I said food, you went 3 different bars.
When I had to go to the bathroom, those were the nicest portalettes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it's
they
those
were.
trailer portalettes, 15 of them. So...
And the lights that let you know if they're occupied or not.
Yeah, look, I don't have a big expectation when I go to an event knowing there's a portalette there that it's going to be nice. But, man, those things were next level.
Yeah, they're really good. We appreciate walk-ons. We appreciate Coca-Cola. Maybe at some point we'll tell you we had specialty cans made for everybody. Maybe not. We'll tell you who didn't take their can. And one person actually drank theirs at the table. We're not going to save it. Not going to put it on a shelf anywhere.
Yep. Just go ahead and hammer this.
Because I got a Final Four trophy. I'm just going to go ahead and drink mine at the table here. Just a fun day. Thank you to Walk-Ons, Coca-Cola, and the great folks at Regions Tradition. Brownie, tell us about the Regions Tradition. First round ongoing today. They'll play today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday out there at Greystone.
Yeah, the Legends of Golf right there at Greystone through the weekend. The Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola right there at Greystone starting today. Goes through Sunday. Some of golf's great names, Ernie Els, John Daly, Stuart Sink, competing for one of golf's most prestigious titles. 4 days of thrilling shots, unforgettable moments, and world-class golf, all in support of local charities. The Regions Tradition presented by Coca-Cola. Get your tickets now, regionstradition.com. regionstradition.com. Have you guys looked at the weather? We good through the week? You can tell I don't have any golf this weekend. I haven't looked at the weather.
We're great today because I got a tee time today.
We're great today and tomorrow. I think Saturday gets a little shaky.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now,
High 87 and sunshine today with, according to Alexa, which is not James Spann or Stephanie Meadows, but it's where I go to sometimes, and it's 0% chance of rain today.
Okay, well, that's a golf day for you there, Jim.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Let's do the spotlight, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
It is the Shannara Spotlight. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, national firm with Southern roots right here in Birmingham for more than 24 years. They've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. They've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values, integrity, mastery, passion, and success. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shannara.com. That is Shannara.com.
Okay, listen to that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pennant Grace
Watch Party.
Woo! We are watching along as the Braves play the Nationals. It's on the TVs below us. We're so excited to be here. We have our ballpark goodies.
Yeah, we're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
Chicken sandwiches, popcorn, nice cold Coca-Cola.
We also have, I was trying to find Dippin' Dots for us here in the studio. I wish you guys could share this meal with us. But I did find blue and red Italian ice that will break out.
Even better, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Not the biggest Dippin' Dots fan. Guess what? You were telling me it was ice cream of the future 25 years ago,
didn't really
Melton.
happen.
It ain't. Future's now. And it's still ice cream. Ice cream is the ice cream of the future. Everybody with me on that?
I agree. I'm with you.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, so we are excited to be here. The Braves are currently leading the Nationals 1-0. AJ Smith-Shawver on the mound. We appreciate all 53 of you being here.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have a lot of fun today. This is more of a laid-back show. We're going to eat our lunch, watch the Braves with you guys. But we do, of course, have a lot to talk about since our last show on Tuesday. And I really want to start with Acuna's apology.
Yeah.
Let's get that off the rip. Let's talk about that. So yesterday, Acuna was on record apologizing to Brian Snitker and the team, really, for, quote, being a distraction to the team during that stretch. Obviously, you guys know the tweet that I am referring to. What are your thoughts, Ish, on that?
Perfect. Squash it immediately, handle it, and move on. It's not that big of a deal anyway, but hey, high road for Ronald Acuna Jr. Hey, guys, this is all taken care of. I apologize to the skipper. I apologize to my teammates. We put it behind us, and now we're going to focus on winning. And guess what everybody else is going to do now? Put it behind them. Move on. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back.
He's
back. He's already in Gwinnett. That is great news. And so looking forward to having him. We have a little we never put any stakes on this wager, but we have a little, will he return in May? Will he return in June? You were feeling really good about your pick of June.
So good about June.
I'm now starting to feel really good about my pick of May.
I'm unfortunately starting to also feel good about Ush's pick. Let us know in the chat. You guys are already being very active there. What your prediction is when we will see Acuna back at Truist. I don't know. June 1st, I'm pulling for it. Well, really, I want him back as soon as possible, but for the show's sake, I want to be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know. We'll see. But it's exciting, though, to kind of have this moment of things are moving forward. And one thing that I love that he said was, and we talked about on the show, we don't sugarcoat things. So when this all kind of broke right after Easter, one of the points that we had made, Ush, was there's probably a lot of frustration that he's experiencing not being able to play.
And that's what he said. He's like, I spoke out of frustration. We've all been there. We've probably all said things at one time or another that maybe we regretted in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
You know?
And it happens. And so I want to also highlight another.
You probably told me to shut up before or something like that in the heat of the moment. Hey, why don't you shut your mouth?
I told your son to shut up the other day.
Oh, that I appreciate.
Yeah,
I've got one in the heat of the moment that I've witnessed, and that is Ush criticizing my hat.
It's too small for Tim's head, guys. You can see it there on our producer cam.
It's a fine-looking hat,
and
Ush.
It's an ugly hat and an ugly logo. Tim's a magnificent specimen. He's a wonderful human being. It's just not the lid that should go on that.
It's a great hat.
It's not.
If this had a little Auburn logo on it, you'd be all about it.
It'd still be too small if it was the same type hat. That's the one issue. And then it's also a fire-breathing dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to.
I would rather UAB new UAB logo be an actual Navy blazer. They're the Blazers. Give them a sport coat.
A jacket?
Yep. It's better than a fire-breathing dragon.
Interesting.
It's real.
Literally.
It's real. You know?
You know what? I shouldn't have brought this up.
It's a real thing. So, hello to Dave and to Hunter in the chat. Dave's father-in-law at the game. Friend of the show, Golf Gardner, talking to me about this the other day, and I agree with him. I love a good day baseball game.
Yes, I do too. I feel like it is peak summertime vibes. We have Wiley. Oh, Ozzy Albies just took one off of the wrist, it looks like. Hold on. Give us a second. This is the joys of watching along. Let's get the replay. Trainer coming out.
He's walking. He's staying on the field.
I did do color commentary for baseball.
Yes, you did.
That was how I got my start in this industry. We're getting the replay right now.
By the way,
yikes.
As I drink this ice cold Diet Coke, great to see our friends from Coca-Cola yesterday.
Yes, because I was going to ask, segueing off of the hat conversation to the hat that you're wearing. That's a custom hat you got.
It is.
From where?
I wish I remembered.
No, the tournament.
Oh, well, it was at the Regions Tradition. I wish I remember the name of the vendor that had it. But it has the state of Alabama, little Greystone logo. Fits perfect, by the way. Plenty big.
I think it looks awful. I think it looks like a clown show, if I'm being honest.
We can share our opinions freely here. I'm okay with that, Tim. You're entitled to your opinion.
Hey, what are you going to do with the other gallons that you're missing from your hat right now? Because it's a 10-gallon hat.
It is. If it was yellow, I would have a curious little monkey with me. So we had the best day yesterday at the Regions Tradition. So much fun.
We saw a few of you guys, a few listeners out there, which is always a fun little interaction to have. We were very vocal about PG20. Ush was stopping anyone that would listen that was wearing Rowback. Code PG20 at checkout, get you 20% off. And
had a great conversation with a young man admiring his shirt. I was like, great shirt. Do you like that? He's like, man, Rowback is my absolute favorite brand. His mom was next to him. I said, well, I got something for you, and really for Mom.
Yeah.
Gave her that cheat code, save 20% off your entire first order. Roback.com code PG20. She liked that. But we got to see a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Had a lot of little funny moments.
We did.
So you and I, Anna Kate Brown, Maddie, cruising the landscape, and then there in the Coca-Cola room with a lot of other friends. We had a great time.
We did. And one thing, Scott Forster, he was in the Coca-Cola room with us, and he was doing a great job behind the camera. We have a few things for you, Forster. One, we hear about, this is our resident White Sox fan. Can you talk about a trend that is taking place with the White Sox, Ush?
Yes. So, Scott Forster, I don't know if you have heard about this or not, and personally not a Catholic. Southern Baptist here, but there's a new pope. And
Pope Leo.
Pope
Leo is he the first American pope ever?
Yes,
Yes.
he is.
So awesome.
He's also a dedicated Chicago White Sox fan. Well, how dedicated? Well, there's footage of him back in was it at the World
early
Series
odds.
game?
It was at the 2005 World Series.
Yeah,
yes.
I couldn't remember if it was the Championship Series or the World Series. So at an actual World Series game. Scott, what's the record of the White Sox since Leo became pope?
Under the Pope Leo regime here, the White Sox are 4-1.
Last I checked,
We have
that is a
divine
winning record.
intervention.
Divine intervention for the White Sox. Most White Sox thing ever. Forster, how do you feel about this?
Pope Leo is my pope.
Yeah,
that's
my pope. He says. Yeah. Big shout out also to Scott. We talked about this on Tuesday's show, previewing it. But Scott,
Here's Pope Leo.
There he is. Look at that.
Look at that.
You see him back there? That's him
2005 World Series.
kicking it.
That is awesome.
05 style.
Forster is so awesome. Like, the
That's
fact
my
that he
pope.
got that pulled up so quickly. Is
I like
amazing.
that. So we talked about it Tuesday, but Scott's daughter Haley and the Moody Blue Devils, state champions, first softball state championship in school history.
Congratulations.
And she even got a shout out yesterday from country music superstar and friend of the show.
Kind of.
He is. We talked
I
to
don't
him.
know.
We weren't able to get to him this year, but last year we spent a lot of time with him, had a great conversation, friendly guy. Riley Green, country superstar Riley Green, wishing the Blue Devils, congratulating them,
Yes.
I should say, on their success. That was a very cool moment, Scott.
He did. He was very kind, and the girls are pretty
Smitten.
pumped about that.
So we're in this Coca-Cola room, and there's celebrities in and out the whole time. But let me tell you, it's a different temperature when Riley walks into the room.
You could say.
that guy's got a mob.
Every woman, no matter the age, everything changed, and like time slowed. There was music
doves
playing.
singing.
I mean, it was something else.
It was. But what was personally my favorite moment was your interaction with Nate Oates.
I did. First time I met Alabama men's basketball coach Nate Oates. And the thing about it is, talking about Riley Green being a real dreamboat, I'll tell you who's a dreamboat in my wife's eyes. My wife, who joined us Tuesday on the show, she thinks she's a big Nate Oates guy, girl. And she thinks Nate Oates is it. He's really handsome. Every time she'll put the phone down, game's on, and she's like, that Nate Oates. He's quite handsome. And I'm like, he looks nothing like me. And she's like, yeah.
I mean, look at that. The resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah. So shout out to Nate for taking the pick. He got a kick out of that, got a big smile on his face when I told him.
You need to set up the
I told him. I was like, listen, Nate, get a quick pick here. By the way, my wife of 21 years has a big crush on you.
Yeah.
Likes you more than me.
Thinks you're really handsome.
He liked that.
He did.
Who doesn't like to hear that, by the way? That's good to know.
I think the biggest thing is he doesn't wear god-awful hats.
If you got hair like that, or hair at all. By the way, Braves now up 2-0 as Alex Verdugo crosses home plate.
Verdugo, I don't think we will ever on this show say enough about Alex Verdugo.
So Alex Verdugo, I said crosses home plate. I meant drives in the winning run. I think that was
Let's see.
Nick Allen that scored. And so
No, it was Ozzy.
Oh, it was Ozzy. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ozzy's okay, obviously staying in the game.
Good.
So 4-5 loss last night So you get games 1 and 2 against Washington, 4-game series. Lose last night 4-5. Bryce Elder though was great.
He was.
Another really good start from Bryce Elder. We had a great conversation with our friends from Coca-Cola about this yesterday. About, hey, do you think they'll go? We talked about this on the show, to a 6-man rotation. EG and I are both in favor of it.
We are.
And 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run. Your starters are really contributing. You have the benefit of having a 6-man, the luxury of having a 6-man for a stretch of time.
Good problem to have.
Why not do that?
Right.
And so I hope that they do go that route. I'm very happy for Bryce Elder. I'm really happy to be wrong on Bryce because I like him. I've always been pulling for him. But he has a great 6 innings, 5 hits, only 1 earned run. Stuart Fairchild. If we had a Pennant Grace drinking game where you take a drink every time we mention Stuart Fairchild, you would be stone cold sober.
Sober.
Everyone's designated driver. He gets a rare start, and look what he makes of it. 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, an RBI, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base.
You really cannot ask for more from that.
That is a phenomenal line from him. Nats overcome a 3-run Braves lead. I really thought the Braves had that one in check. They scored 2 in the 7th and then 2 in the 8th to take that. Dave Martinez has a really young team in Washington, but you see
Scrappy
talent there for sure.
Yeah, I would say after having a chance to watch this team, the best way to describe them is scrappy. And yesterday I agree with you, Ush, that it seemed like the Braves kind of had it locked down, but it was the bullpen that really just did not come in clutch yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, Hunter, that is popcorn and not chicken salad. Yes, correct.
Do we want to break out the Italian ice so we get into the
let's do that.
bullpen discussion? Okay.
So that would be weird if there were just plates of chicken salad sitting there, but it's also weird that we're eating while we're trying to do a very, very, very professional show. So that's how it went down last night. If Atlanta can win, they, again, up 2-0 right now in the bottom of the 5th. If they can win, that's 3 of 4. Both EG and I already discussed we'll be very happy with taking 3 of the 4 from
absolutely.
Washington, knowing we're about to see them again next week. But in between playing in D.C., the Braves go to Boston, Massachusetts to play the Boston Red Sox. Tim Melton, can you give me a good Boston accent?
Park the car and have a yard.
I thought you were going to maybe go that way. I will I'll play it safe, and I'll just do a 1-word Boston Red Sox fan impression.
Okay.
Nomar!
Okay.
Nomar Garciaparra.
I feel like when I think of Boston, I think of Ka. Get in the car.
Free pub here for Luigi's. Real Italian ice, by the way.
Yeah. I did watermelon. Usher's doing blue raspberry.
It's
Red
a real
and blue.
ball game experience.
It
You know,
is.
you're at the ball game, one of the best parts of being at a baseball game, and the best sport, hands down, to live sport to eat at is a baseball
Oh,
game.
yes. I feel like the options are incredible. There's usually personalized, interesting, stadium-specific options, too, which I like. And then it's very relaxing.
Lots of good breaks where you go,
Yeah,
hey, I'm going to go get the hot dog now, and then I'm going to go back later, and I'm going to get the pretzel, and later on when we get the ice cream, and, we're going to top it off with that. This is really good.
This is really good.
It's really, really good.
Do you have any ballpark traditions food-wise?
A hot dog is really, that's very, I'd say cliche, but it's a standard
Classic.
for a reason. A hot dog at a ballpark. I love hot dogs anyway. And so hot dog at a ballpark, much to producer Tim Melton's chagrin, I put mayonnaise on my hot dog.
Oh.
And I'm the weird one. Yeah.
No,
let's put Scott up. He wants to yell at you too. We have
Yeah,
not been
Scott
offered
hates that
any
too.
Italian
That's true.
ice, by the way.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, I know, Scott.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
It's not good. That just really sounds offensive, honestly.
Now I'll do ketchup and mustard with it as well.
Oh, that's
all-
worse.
We'll get all those flavors dancing together.
Ew. Forrester, do you have a go-to at the ballpark?
Yeah, I love a hot dog, but it's mustard and kraut.
Ooh,
I like that
classic.
too.
Yeah.
I like that too.
I don't hate that.
No, that's a good one. 2001 or 2 at
Year I was born.
we were at Legion Field as my Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders were taking on the Crimson Tide of Alabama, and we go to get our hot dogs. A friend of the show, Golf Gardner, they're already wrapped in foil. He says, "Where do we dress the dogs?" I said, "No, they're already dressed. No need to worry, sir. They're all taken care of." He's like, "Great. Okay, they're already wrapped." We sit down in our seats. We unwrap them. He's a very picky eater. He sees the crowd on it. He says no words, simply hands me the hot dog. Guess who's eating 2 hot dogs now? That would be me. Legion Field hot dogs. So, yeah, I know. No one's gonna like the chat doesn't like the mayo on the dog. I get it.
I mean, chili's acceptable.
I love that. Love chili and slaw on a hot dog as well. Lots of things I like on a hot dog.
There was a great sign on the broadcast, if you guys are watching along, that said, "Our boss thinks we're at work right now."
I like that.
And what's so fun is just that this is our work. I mean, you volunteer here at Disrupt Media. But we appreciate it.
But the perks are amazing.
Yeah, you get Italian ice.
No way Tim and Scott would be friends with me if I didn't do this. So it's worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
especially in that ad.
Exactly. Well,
Thank you,
right.
Scott.
Right. I got it from Abe Lincoln. So coming out of last night, there was talk about the bullpen.
Yes.
All right. So
give me the numbers, Ush.
I wanted to look and see how we're doing, actually. So looking at the entire bullpen, and you keep an eye on this while I'm talking. So let's start with the funnest names on the bullpen. That's Blewett and Bummer.
Oh, terrible.
Scott Blewett, 2.79 ERA with 19 strikeouts, and Aaron Bummer, 3.06 ERA, 20 strikeouts. Both guys have been very solid. Iniel de los Santos has a 4.19 ERA with 22 strikeouts. So higher on the ERA, but he has a higher number of strikeouts. Daysbel Hernandez, who I've been championing here on the show, is a 1.89 ERA, 13 strikeouts. Raciel Iglesias, and this is where a lot of the attention comes from. 6.06, which is by far the highest in the bullpen, and that's going to score a run.
Azuna.
So Braves now up 4-0,
Nice.
bottom of the 5th.
Love
2
it.
outs and 2 on. So Raciel, 6.06, 19 strikeouts. That ERA is high. Mm-hmm. But you look again, Pierce Johnson. We were talking about Pierce Johnson 2 days ago, you and I. What a great season he's had.
Yeah.
Great hair, too, by the way.
He has a good
2.30 ERA, 18 strikeouts. Another guy I've long been a fan of. Dylan Lee, 2.04 ERA, 19 strikeouts. And then to top it off, the best way to top it off, the pitcher that when EG was in Truist Park texted me to say, who is this guy?
Yes.
Rafael Montero with a 4.11 ERA, 17 strikeouts. So there's the numbers. You guys make of it what you will. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Daysbel, that stands out, and he's the closer. That's the highest profile position. But you see some really good numbers there in the bullpen. Atlanta's pitching staff overall, I thought this was interesting.
Okay.
In the National League, the Braves rank 7th in strikeouts. Actually, that may be in all of MLB. I'll have to double check that. But 7th in strikeouts, which is good. Mm-hmm. In the National League, they are 5th in ERA at 3.76. That's overall ERA. These are all overall pitching numbers. And that is National League. These are National League numbers. 11th in saves. Okay? Mm-hmm. But 4th in whip.
Really?
Yeah, and for those of you wondering, and this is not a stupid question, what is whip? Walks and hits per inning pitched. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a really good stat. So if you look at guys, if you're like me and you like looking at, box scores, check out that. That is a good stat to have, walks and hits per innings pitched. So if you're 4th in whip in the National League, you're 7th in strikeouts, you're 5th in ERA, but then 11th in saves, that tells me that the Atlanta Braves do not have elite pitching, but do have good to very good pitching.
Yeah, and I think that we would all agree with that. And when you're looking at this bullpen, I think the saves are what stick out to me the most. And I think that goes back to these one-run wins and losses, and that's where we're seeing that. But do you think that this is something that going forward, as we continue to look at these numbers, we're going to realize, you know what, like the Braves bullpen really isn't as bad right now as it is on paper?
I think you always want to, put a lot of emphasis on the mistakes.
Yeah.
And the successes you kind of move past pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. And we tend to dwell on those. And sometimes it's helpful, again, to go back, look at the actual numbers, see what they say, and then also, too, see how they compare to other teams, especially see how they compare to other good teams that you feel are going to be playoff teams. If you are in the top 5 in ERA and you are in the top 5 in WHIP in the National League, then if you don't make the playoffs, it ain't going to be because of the pitching.
Right, but I think that we could have said that even last season, though.
Yeah.
That has been something the Braves really haven't necessarily been struggling with. There's been frustrations there. But to me, it's been the offensive production.
I agree.
By a mile.
I agree. And so as the season goes along and trades start heating up, as you start to get towards the trade deadline, then all that activity just ramps up like it always does. I have a pretty good feeling the Braves will be buyers, which is good. And what do you do? We talked about this before about, will they have Ronald Acuna Jr. not in right every day and have him some at-bats in the designated hitter role. And so if they do that, and if Marcel, which I was just, threw a big temper tantrum on this show about trading the prospect of trading Marcel. But if they were to trade Marcel, what do you do at DH? If the plan is for Acuna to mostly do right, but also do some DH, you have that. Here's the other. Who has the hottest bat on the team right now? Drake Baldwin.
Which is so interesting.
You got 2 good catchers. When you're playing Murphy, you could DH Baldwin. When you're playing Baldwin, you could DH Murphy.
Yeah.
And so again, this is all if and hypothetical. That's 3 guys, one of which is your best player on the team that you could DH. Now, if you're going to trade Marcel, what do you go after? And that's where we could see.
Yeah. Bolstering
could
a
be
little
a
bit.
closer.
Yeah, which I think a lot of Braves country would appreciate.
At this point, and I can't believe I'm saying this, if you'd have told me this, in the week or so leading up to the beginning of the season and opening day, that it wouldn't be a starter, but we're just talking about a 6-person rotation. It seems to be a position of strength right now.
Agreed. I would agree with that. Smuff says Snit said that the plan for Acuna is to play the field daily, no DHing.
Yeah, I'm glad he brought that up. And that's probably a true statement from him. I'm not saying he would be lying, but
as it evolves,
I'm just saying I still would not be shocked to see him playing some DH. But if he says, Smuff also says you don't want to DH Baldwin or Murphy on off days unless you're carrying a 3rd catcher on the roster.
True.
That is something to keep in mind. That if you're wearing those guys out, so those things, that's a good counter point to what I was saying, to keeping Marcel.
Yeah.
And going with what you have and just having guys in there in terms of, the depth of the team. But I still think whatever they end up doing, it could be prospects then that the Braves maybe do add some bullpen depth.
Yeah. And I don't think that would be a bad decision at all. And I want to, over the next couple of weeks, as Acuna gets closer and closer, kind of run through all the various options for what could transpire on his return.
Yeah.
Because we can go so many different directions with what the outfield is going to look like, even the DHing discussion. And Smuff, as you did say, Snit right now is saying that the plan is for him to be in the field full time. However, if something, got him out. Nice.
So A.J. Smith-Shawver, by the way, 76 pitches. It is at the top of the 6th with 2 outs, so it looks like he's definitely going to get through the 6th. And with that pitch count, we can see A.J. Smith-Shawver going again into the 7th inning. So impressed with this young player, and I'm so happy for him. I'm a huge A.J. Smith-Shawver fan. I think he's going to factor in big time to the future of the club, and so I'm really happy to see him have that success right now.
Agreed.
Also, too, you've got an outfielder that's serving a suspension right now. Now, we're not going to have him for the postseason should the Braves make it, but you also have, now outfield depth because Eli White is playing out of his mind. You could DH one of them.
And we haven't talked about Profar, it seems like, in a while, really.
Because we've forgotten about
We
him.
kind of have. And that's not
out of sight, out of mind,
and
right?
That's really not a bad problem to have. We've talked about how strong the outfield is and how Acuna is stepping back into a position where, sorry guys, we're watching this replay.
Well, there's a
did his hand make it?
Yeah, I think he did. So this may get overturned, may be safe, may go back down to 1 out. Let's see what this is, but they may have gotten him there.
But we were saying how Acuna is stepping back into a great situation where it's not everyone is biting at the bit to get Acuna back because it is such a situation that's in shambles.
Yes.
It's a very solid. Wait, here's another replay. I think he got that.
I think he's in.
Yeah.
See, we call it down the middle.
We do. But I do think that's going to be very beneficial going forward. However, then the conversation we were just having, how do you balance out every single person?
Yeah. Well, it's a great problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
But the way that White and Verdugo have played, and what Verdugo has also just seemingly brought to the team, the energy he's brought, you want to keep those guys in. So again, it gives you options. We'll see how that ends up working out. I still think there is a good possibility both ways that Marcel stays and that Marcel gets traded. Like, a lot can happen between now and the trade deadline as well. I'm so excited, though, because we're in the throes of the season now.
We are.
I'm already excited for Tuesday's show because this game will be history, and we will have all of Boston to talk about.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. And then, looking ahead to playing Washington again, and then everything that's going to come after that in May. So that's going to be really cool to look into. It's just great when you got baseball like this every day. It's so much fun.
It is, and it's going to fly by. I feel like we're going to get to the All-Star break here.
We're halfway through May already.
It just feels like it's going so fast. So we'll be here all season long to keep you guys company. We really appreciate you spending your afternoon watching the Braves game and having us on as well. This was super fun. Hopefully we get some more day games because I liked this setup. A little more laid back, a little more casual. Feels like we're all together watching a game, and that's never a bad thing, especially when you're a part of Braves country, Ish.
You guys want to something that you want us to talk about and cover, something that's on your mind? Best way to do that is contact us, especially on Twitter, where we're at the Pennant Grace, but we're all across social media, on Instagram, on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Also, the show available through EG's Twitter.
Yep.
On YouTube and also on podcast. Just search the Pennant Grace and you'll find it.
Yeah, so if you guys can't, see the show live, check out the podcast tab. And it's one of those ways that you can really benefit us by giving us a 5-star rating there.
I was going to say, the podcast reminds me a lot of myself in high school.
Why?
It needs a lot of reassurance.
It does.
To feel loved.
It does.
So how can they do that if they want to make it feel loved?
So you just go to the Pennant Grace, you type it in, and we pop up our logo. We have a good logo.
Good logo.
We have a really good logo.
Yeah.
It's behind us. And then you just tap the 5 stars. You can leave a review if you want.
Subscribe. All those things. Comments are good.
Follow.
Yeah.
Really anything you guys feel.
All of that is good stuff. Also, speaking of that logo, Pennant Grace wallpaper.
Yes,
on
we
your
have
phone,
wallpaper.
which I have on my phone, and so just has the logo there. We sent that out on our Twitter
account,
and
we'll,
so that's available.
Retweet that today so you guys can catch that if you missed it. Hopefully we have some different merch options coming soon for you guys to wear out and about, maybe to Braves game. It would be a great sweatshirt, Ush.
Yeah, we have Sturgill Simpson in the chat.
Okay.
I just noticed.
I don't care for Frenchie
Turtles
too much.
all the way down from Sturgill Simpson. So we've got a first celebrity in the chat. He does not care for Frenchie too much and turned in, y'all take care. You take care too. Sturgill, you keep singing. You've got a great voice. Keep following that long white line. Ooh. I like Frenchie personally. I think he's fantastic, but I like CJ as well and Brandon Gaulden. Radio crew, Darren O'Day and Ben Ingram calling in on the radio today also do a great job. Shout out to all of them that follow along with us. You spend so much time with these announcers, it's like you know them.
No, and I hope that's what we're becoming too. I hope you guys feel like you know us.
Look at that.
I know.
That's heartwarming right there,
it
Tim
is.
Melton. We're like old friends.
It's a little family sitting around the campfire watching some Braves.
Brings a tear to my eye.
There you go. Eating Italian ice together. So.
Okay. All right. We will be back with you guys Tuesday at 12:15. We cannot wait to see you there. Until then, happy day game, Braves country. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.